Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Zach and I am back again with another video. Guys, today what I'm going to talk about is something that it does not matter if you are rich, you are poor, you are somewhere in between, but it's always going to be something that people are curious about, especially when they're moving to another country. And though it might differ and it's on like a sliding scale depending on your personal income, it's still a very important thing to talk about, and that is the cost of living. So I'm going to go over a little bit about what I know about the cost of living in Thailand and kind of how I navigated my own finances to make sure that I could stay there for the most amount of time for the limited amount of money that I had. You're going to hear so many people talk about cost of living and how you can make it off of $1,000, or you're going to need $1,500 or $2,000. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. All of those figures are correct and all of those figures are absolutely wrong. It just depends on who you are as a person. You can always do anything for as little or as much as you want. Granted, you still have to take care of the necessities like being able to pay for your accommodation, utilities, and food. And if you're going to be staying long term, going to immigration and making sure that you have your visa situations taken care of, because you don't want to overstay your visa. Though there are some things about overstaying visas that you can work out with immigration so that you don't have to leave. There are ways around it. There's deadlines and things. If you want me to talk about that, you can leave a comment down below and I can go a little bit more into details about overstaying your visa and how you can work that out with immigration so that you're not escorted out of the country. Near the end of my stay in Thailand, I was really penny pinching because I was running out of money quick. For those of you who do not know, I moved to Thailand about 5 months ago, a little bit over 5 months ago, and I did not have a job nor an income. I was going there doing YouTube, hoping that I could earn the following and get monetized so that I could make videos as my primary source of income. Knowing that this was an insane idea, I did it anyways, with the full understanding that failure was definitely an option and most likely would be the outcome. And though I don't consider myself a failure, I am back in the United States for about 3 months, maybe 2, before I head back to Thailand and get back to the grind. But like I was saying, I was penny pinching. I was holding on to every dollar that I could because I needed to make it last as long as I can. My accommodation was about $250 US a month with utilities, about $50 or less depending on how much electricity I decided I wanted to use. But you always have the aircon running because if you've been to Thailand, you know it's hot all of the time. But like I was saying, I think I made it on about $500 to $600 because if you want to eat for less, that is 100% possible. If you go out and you get something to eat and it costs you something like 100 baht, 200 baht every time you eat, that adds up really quick. But you could get a nice sized meal for 40, 50 baht and you can cut down those expenses pretty extensively. So the ability to understand how much you're working with and how far you want to stretch how much you have is essential for long lasting time in another country, especially if you're penny pinching and you're on a budget. One of the really cool things about Thailand that I personally really liked is that you can do so many things without having to spend any money. Of course, you can go to movies and zoos and clubs and party and drink and smoke and do all that stuff, but there's so much to do all around the country that you don't have to pay any money. You can go to temples, you can go to beaches, you can go on hikes, there's mountains, there's so many things to see, there's so many night markets that you can walk through, there's so many things to be seen and to be done. You can still meet people and do things. To see people sitting on the beach at every hour of the night is not uncommon in Thailand, and that's something that you can definitely do. Hold on to some money and make your trip a little long. If you don't have the money to pay for transportation, you can't get yourself your own motorbike or something of that nature, then don't worry, because most places that you want to go, if you use a motorbike taxi, which is a little more dangerous than a regular taxi because you are on the back of a motorbike, and if you don't know, the fatality rate in Thailand on motorbikes is pretty high, but if you don't let that scare you too much, then you can still take a motorbike taxi, which will cost you anywhere between $1 to $2 US, depending on how far you want to go within the city that you live, and it's very affordable. If you know anything about transportation in the United States, then you know if you're taking an Uber or a Lyft practically anywhere, you would be lucky if you were paying less than $15. So being able to pay $1 to $2 to go pretty much anywhere in the city, then I mean, you're winning. On top of that, if you are really determined to save a little bit of that coin, you can also walk pretty much anywhere if you're living in like Pattaya or one of the smaller cities in Thailand. If you really want to hold on to that coin and you're really trying to stretch it as far as you can, and it doesn't bother you to do very few money activities, then I say $700 a month, depending on how you want to live in your accommodation and things like that, is absolutely doable. But like I said, you are going to be pinching pretty hard on those pennies, and personally, I think that's absolutely fine. I went to Thailand to live, not to party, so just being somewhere where everything was a lot cheaper was good for me. Now for you, I'm not sure what type of life you want to lead, but regardless of that, you can make it happen. So my biggest tip to you is, if you want to pick your stuff up and move to Thailand, make a plan, figure it out, and get up and do it. Or if you're feeling very adventurous like me, I made all of my decisions very last minute, and I just packed my bags, bought a ticket, and I left with no plan, no itinerary, I have no idea where I'm landing or what I'm doing. That's how I did it. Do I suggest it? Not really, but if you're into that, go ahead. I mean, bad things might happen, you might run out of money, but it's an experience in life that you can't trade. It's an experience in life that you get to have and get to say, no matter what happens, I get to always tell the story about how I packed my bags, moved to Thailand, got stuck outside for 12 hours because I had nowhere to live, and then, you know, I get to tell my whole story, and I'm happy about that. But everybody lives their life a little bit differently. How do you want to live yours? If you enjoyed this video at all, say like, tell them to like the video. Like the video. Don't forget to comment down below what else you want me to talk about when it comes to life in Thailand, because I was there for 5 months and I have a lot of knowledge up here in this noodle. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because it helps me out a ton. I still want to build my YouTube so that I can go back to Thailand and make money on this. But until next time, guys, I'll see ya.